Hello everyone, that time of the week again to hear from myself and our weekly talk. Hope that we're all safe and well. Those that couldn't be with us, get well soon. COVID hasn't hit in 2 weeks, thank God. But there's an awful lot of colds, viruses, a lot of members are on antibiotics and you're on steroids. So please make sure that obviously when you finish your antibiotic to have a probiotic, because the antibiotic kills the good with the bad. Just to look after our immune system, but there is awful doses going, so please look after yourself. Vitamin C is a great one all year round as well. Vitamin C is the only vitamin that you can't overdose on, okay? Usually if I get a niggle of a sore throat or anything like that, I'll take a couple of 1500 meg vitamin C and I'm as right as rain. But your garlic and your chili flakes, they're all natural antibiotics all year round as well. So make sure we're just minding ourselves. Those that are on holidays, enjoy. So obviously this week was our second last week. Fantastic weight loss, especially coming into the week after bank holiday. Sometimes it's hard to start our mojo again and to get going. Next week is obviously going to be our last weigh-in of 2022, and it's not goodbye because I don't do goodbyes. It will be a farewell, but I invite all of you to get to your class next week. No matter what, we're going to have a little bit of a party, I suppose. We have caterers coming in on both classes. Sam is also going to bake. And it's just going to be a little chit chat with everyone to see how that we're all getting on, and a little pep talk to keep us going. It is only a couple of weeks and I will absolutely fly in before I see it in 2023. But your videos will be posted weekly, and weekly text messages as well. Plus everyone will get your pack next week with all your talks, your recipes and your food diaries for those weeks. So please make sure you get to class next week. This is the last week for payment of Plan B, which is €50. If you didn't make class this week, you can do it on Revolut or else bank transfer is absolutely fine, just to ensure that I have your pack for next week as well with all your information. But thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me. But as it is the last week this week, because I'm hoping not to have carry cash next week, so it just gives me a little bit more time at the scales to make sure everyone's okay, and to do inch loss next week as well. This week's talk, take a breath, Chloe. Things you can control. So as you know, that there's a lot of things in life that we can't control, but we generally don't do well with that, especially us as females within the group, because we like to have a control on the situation, or at least know the outcome, or have some control on what the outcome is going to be. But sometimes in life we just have to roll with it and accept that that's out of my control. There's absolutely nothing that I can do about it, or that I could have done about it. So these things are things that you can control. So focus on the positive of what you can make a difference to. And up first is how you speak to yourself. Really important, as we said in the class. Positive or negatively, how we speak to ourselves will impact that entire day, impact those that are around us, whether it's work or at home or our family or friends. So speak to yourself in a nice way, rather than browbeating yourself, especially when we have a bad week on weight loss. And this whole talk about things you can control is designed around our weight loss, because things that we can't control can be triggers for us eating or drinking or both, or having just not a great week on plan. So speak to yourself nicely, focus on the positive, draw a line under the negative, leave it in the past and stop rewriting history. Your next one then is your actions. So that very famous saying, your actions speak louder than your words. So like if someone says I love you, they're very easy words for anyone to say, but it's your actions that will actually back that up. So our actions, let's just stop talking and walk the walk. Because like that, I can say to you, you can have lose 10 pounds by Christmas, which is realistic, which is the clothes size for men or for women. But you could have yourself talked in and out of that. You might say, well, I have a weekend away, I have a birthday, I have my Christmas party, so I'm not really going to go for £10. And straight off you eliminate the possibility that you could lose a clothes size. So like that, your actions, let's just do it. Let's focus week by week, focus day by day, focus hour by hour, by half hour if we have to. Next then is your habit. So this has to become a habit. So like you get up a certain time for work, you might mind your grandkids on a certain day, you have your shower a certain time of day, you maybe wash your hair every second day. These are habits that you form that make it a lifestyle. So that, say for instance, drinking your 2 litres of water, keeping your food diary, prepping, buying out the opportune time for when is the best time for you to food prep and plan your food. So it becomes a habit, because there's nothing worse. Let's say, take water. You come home in the evening time, let's say 7 o'clock. You say, God, I haven't drank my water today. And you kind of be standing at the sink or at the fridge trying to get 2 litres into you. It's too late in the day. It's not going to happen, and you're going to say, I'll start again tomorrow. Whereas if you've been drinking your water throughout that day, because that's your habit, it's second nature, then you don't have to think outside the box, and it's easier then to do on a daily basis. Who you follow on social media and also in real life. Social media always paints the perfect picture, the ideal picture. I like that they have filters. They have this word called beautifying a picture. It all amazes me, and I'm not really into it, to be honest with you. But sometimes when we're looking at that, we think that the grass is always green elsewhere. But remember that the grass is green where you water it. So let's water our own grass, because sometimes you can see someone's always on a night out, they're always buying clothes, they're on a holiday, and you might think, well, that doesn't really bother me. I have the attitude, live and let live. But it's what the eye sees is recorded in the memory, and it can come back in the subconscious in different ways when we sleep, when we talk about things. So really be careful, have positive influence in your life, that your vibe attracts your tribe. Have social media that is of interest to you. Also in real life is really important, because I think real life is probably more important for me, because there are people that we might be around a little bit more that can drain our energy. So just be careful. You might even have to declutter the phone. There might be names and numbers on the phone from 10, 15, 20 years ago. Just delete if we're not in contact, because it can bring us back to a bad or negative place. You are in control of your wealth or your weight and your health journey. We are in control of that. We are what we eat, and the difference that we make from week to week, and to be consistent on that. But that is one thing that we can't control, and we can control from week to week on plan. Next then is the boundaries that you set. So in our training with the HSC and the psychology behind weight gain and weight loss, it's that imaginary boundary. So it's like when the runners run through that line at the race, well, the winner runs through. You have to have that boundary, and you have to not let anyone come into that boundary. It reminds me of the film Dirty Dancing, when they're practicing and she says to Patrick Swayze, this is my space and that is your space, and you have to respect your own space, and your own boundaries is really important, and to set those boundaries and not feel guilty about it, because it's not selfish, it's self-preservation. And it's something that happened to me this week, and I shared it to class. I'm not going to go into it too much in the video, that I let the boundary slip and it ruined my whole weekend. But that was my own fault, and I just said to Sam, I said, that's the reason why I don't go for coffee with that person. Because I kind of forgot, because it'd been a long while, and I was like, maybe they've changed. You're trying to think the benefit of the doubt, whereas really I didn't look after myself last weekend. So that's where the boundaries come in. Your mindset you're in control of. So where we can, I'm not saying it's always possible, where we're having a bad day, write down even three things into the phone that you're grateful for. Because I suppose I never really got to saying that there's someone always worse off than you, because when you're in that moment of darkness, you don't really care about anyone else, and I'm being honest about that. But when you think about it, unfortunately there is always someone worse off. And so three simple things that we're grateful for: our health, that we woke up that morning, our family, our kids, our mother and father, they're healthy. All that can be in there, but your mindset is so important to the knock-on effect of food, because we are emotional eaters. Next then is your reaction. So we can't change other people, and again I shared stories in the class this week. We can't change other people, but we can change our reaction. And again, if I can do it, anyone could do it. I would have been quite a fiery person in there. Now I let the dust settle. I think before I speak. Might even say a little prayer before I speak, to give me the calmness to present myself, and not to go all guns blazing, because it's no good for anyone, and it's definitely no good for me, and it's not the solution to any problem. So your reaction is key. But you can't change other people or their behaviour, but we can change how we allow it to affect us. Next then is what you eat. So you are in control of that. We might blame other people, or they bought sweets into work. It was a workmate's birthday. He bought in chips. The kids got me a box of chocolates. All that can be in there. But no one is force fed, are they? Because if you are, I want you to let me know. Send me a message and I'll have to do something about that. Next is how you spend your time. So we've all probably used the saying, there's not enough hours in the day. You wish there was more hours in the day. I wish there was more sunlight hours in the day, but we all have the same 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's all about time management and what we spend our time on. Are we hours scrolling through the phone, hours watching series on Netflix, not really doing food prep, not drinking our water, not keeping active, not keeping our food diary, not interacting into our little WhatsApp group? So how you spend your time is key, because once the time is gone, we don't get that back. And to see, as I said at the beginning, consistent weight loss every week. Next then, you are in control if you keep a food diary. So I can say till the cows come home at class that research has shown, and a lot of money and effort and time went into that with an outside company, that members who keep a food diary lose 3 times more weight than those who don't. But is that enough for us to keep a food diary? Generally not. But what I want us to do is, if we don't keep a food diary, start with a 3-day food diary. Start with 3 solid days. Do you know you can give the program 100%? Then we can build up to a 4-day one, a 5-day one, and so on and so forth. Next then is you are in control if you drink your 2 litres of water a day. So like that, members will say to me, oh, I was up all night, going to the bathroom and different things, and it is inconvenient. But whatever it takes, if you want something bad enough, you will find a way. If not, you will find an excuse. And everyone in this group, I know we're not excuse makers. We deliver, we get our goals, and that's what we do. But sometimes we can allow those little excuses to come in. So I don't want us to do that. So that's basically our talk. Things you can control. Any questions, you know the drill. Positive or negative feedback, please let me know. Well done to everyone getting there. Please all stay safe and well, and I'll see you next week for our little shindig. Big hugs and kisses to everyone. Bye.